All right, well, it seems every day a new company is targeted by cyber criminals. Despite ongoing upgrades, the hackers seem to be getting quicker and cleverer at circumnavigating them. The latest victim was the Virgin Active group of gyms. Last week, the company had to warn clients its security systems had been compromised, going offline to try and contain that breach. Now, if cyber criminals can get past an entire company, how can we as individuals protect ourselves? And I'm joined now by Loyiso Boyce, cybersecurity specialist and managing director of cyber solutions company Cly-rofor. Loyiso, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Just talk to us about exactly what happened at Virgin Active.
Morning, Sally, and good morning to the viewers. I'm involved in the industry, but Virgin Active isn't my customer, so I'm not in a position to go into the specifics of this particular incident. What we can talk about, though, is what these incidents generally are happening to who in the industry. Yeah. Because you're correct, it's not just Virgin Active. We have customers in the telco space, financial services, engineering, and everybody is a target right now.
What are these hackers typically looking for? Is it just to get our data?
Well, if you consider that some of the largest companies in the world right now are data-driven companies, social media is massive, Facebook, Google, Alphabet, and when you consider companies like Tesla with their autonomous driving, all of that is data-derived. So data is the new oil in this industrial revolution, the new one that we're in. And that's what mainly people are looking for. And you are correct. It could be personal data of your customers, because remember, there's a market for this. There's a shopping list. There's a price for a credit card that is being accessed. There is a price for having your name, your ID number, your address, all your information. When you go onto the black market on the dark web, there's prices for all of this, and that's what they're doing. They're breaking into companies looking for information and personal information they are able to sell, and sometimes they just sit there and they wait for an opportune time to pick up. What are you doing? So in the case of a smaller business, why would you, so you might be wondering, why would I get targeted? So we've covered that. They might want information, but also you might be servicing ENCA as your customer. You might be servicing a bank or a larger entity. And these attackers know that it's harder to get into that bigger environment than it is to get into a smaller company. So they might compromise your equipment, your phone, your environment, waiting for an opportune time to attack your customer. That's mainly some of the stuff that they're looking for.
So what do we do? You know, if you're a gym member, and I noticed that on MoneyWeb, Virgin Active is quoted, you know, saying they were aware of the attack, security teams working on it. There's no indication at this point that data has been removed, but we urge all stakeholders to remain vigilant. So what does remaining vigilant mean for the individual?
So that's a very good question. So remaining vigilant is understanding that your information has been compromised. So if somebody now all of a sudden from Virgin Active, I'm doing inverted commas, calls you and says they're from Virgin Active and they want to change your information, be alert, because what you are typically going to do is ask them to verify that, yes, indeed, they are from Virgin Active. So you might want to say, if you're really from there, confirm my account number or confirm this. They will have that information. So it makes it more difficult for you to also verify who they are. They're in a tough situation, but they've done the wrong thing. They've done the right things. They've indicated that they've notified the Office of the Information Regulator. They've done exactly that. They've communicated to their customers. I know they sent SMSs over the weekend. I've got some of my customers who reached out to me when they got the SMSs to ask if this is legitimate. The challenge is when they send SMSs, one of the things that they indicate is click on this link for more information. And people now being wary of links that they don't know are wary of clicking on this further link thinking that they might be getting attacked. So this is what I want customers and businesses to understand, that yes, you are able to respond, but it does make your life a little bit more difficult after such an incident has taken place. So I recommend that if you know that you had a Virgin Active account and you are in the bad habits, like most of us are, of reusing our logon information. Logon information being the username or the password. Please, when the systems are back online, I'm not sure if they're online already, please change those. Please get into the habit of not recycling the same passwords all over, because today it's Virgin Active, next week it could be any other company. So you want to make sure that if one environment is compromised, you are not therefore like a domino, falling domino, where everywhere else will be compromised as well.
Do you recommend using a lot of the computers generate a password for you and then keep it in their keychain? I'm thinking, for example, of the Apples.
Yes.
Is that a good system to be part of?
100%. So systems like that are generally called password vaults. What they do is do exactly that. You get varying passwords, and they give you very strong passwords. So typically, most people keep their passwords short and simple because they want it to be easy to remember. But what you want is a strong password, at least 8 characters. The more, the better. Mixed used characters, special characters, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and things like that. That's what you want to use. And the password vaults are perfect precisely for that. And as another layer on top of that, especially if you're going to be using public Wi-Fis, people need to start using virtual private networks. They're called VPNs. They encrypt and protect any information that is taking place, what you're doing on your machine. So when you connect via a public forum or any other network, people that manage that network or people that have compromised that network will not be able to see what information is being transmitted by your device. So password vaults are critical. Use strong passwords. Don't use the same password all over, and start investigating and looking at things like VPNs. Those will go a long way to set you apart from everybody else that's going to be a victim.
You can't throw a term like VPN into the end of an interview. Not quickly explain it for me, please.
Yeah, no, thank you for calling me to order. VPN is Virtual Private Network. It's a software tool that is available. So it does precisely that. So especially if you are connecting in a public Wi-Fi hotspot, it prevents anybody who could have compromised that Wi-Fi hotspot, or the people who manage that Wi-Fi hotspot, the restaurant. So let's say you go to a restaurant and you want to use their Wi-Fi. Obviously, somewhere at the restaurant has to set up that VPN. What people don't know is that if the restaurant so chose, they could actually monitor the traffic, whatever that is happening on their network. So a virtual private network allows you to still use such Wi-Fi hotspots, but prevent anybody who you don't want to be able to see what you are doing from being able to see what you're doing. So I encourage people to get that. Virtual private network is what we're looking for, and password vault.